All right, everybody, welcome. My name is Dino the Genetic Marvel. You can see my name, no, right here. Ta-da! I did it with the other hand earlier, and that's how I practice, so I messed it up. This is a new program that I'm doing. It is specifically based around the progress I've made. So, over the last few years, we got to go back a little further. I guess entering into the pandemic, I've been doing jokes about this, was that I went into the pandemic about probably around. I know I was over 450 pounds. I don't know by how much, but that's how I started the pandemic. And through the pandemic, I started to not feel very well at all. And it started me on a journey. I started doing all sorts of things and just trying to become better. And realistically, like when you get to that size, you have to understand that things are, a lot of stuff, but not necessarily, uh, it helps that you hear it again, kind of thing. So with this, I'm just trying to hold myself accountable as I've made a lot of progress, which I'm going to explain as to how I did and what I did. Just kind of tell my story because I think it's a great one. And I think a lot of people can learn from it because, world's a scary place. It always has been a scary place. And I feel like this will be a way of bringing people together in a good, positive way. Um, that will benefit. So it's not going to be very long. It's just going to be a basic understanding. And then what I'm doing is I'm doing 30 days. My wife and I are going on a trip. It's quite the adventure. And the lead up to the trip has been the idea of doing things we've never done before in a way that we've also never done them before or aren't usually comfortable doing. Now, that's not necessarily an attack on comfort or habitual actions or anything like that. It's more so that we've gotten to this point in our lives doing what we know, what we're comfortable with. And if our goals are otherwise, then we have to start doing something different. That's where I kind of started. And I'll be honest, the idea behind this was that a lot of people started asking questions as I've started to do live comedy again in the city, and it's been very nice seeing old friends. I do have a couple videos that I'm going to be loading up into clips. Some of them, it's always material I'm working with and trying to get bigger and better and make people enjoy. But with that, people have noticed how much I've lost. So, as I said, going into the pandemic, I was sitting around 450 plus pounds. Today, I weighed in at 304 pounds. Now, I know what you're saying. That's still huge, and that's fair. I acknowledge that point. But through this process, I'll be honest. When I was in high school, I was about 335 pounds. Now, I'm not sure where you are listening to this, but when I was in high school. At the end of high school, I was about 18, 19, and I went through something called the Bernstein diet. It was very strict, essentially medically supervised starvation. I lost 94 pounds in a matter of 3 months. I was down to 242 pounds. I felt great. But no other knowledge, training, understanding. It was a simple thing where a lot of people have done things like, and not to criticize those things because sometimes that's your only option. But it didn't give me the knowledge I needed to stay that size. So after about 3 or 4 years, I was back at that weight, even higher. Um, I got married, got divorced. Subsequently, I met my current wife, love of my life, and I eventually got up to 500 pounds. Suffering from depression, sickness, all numerous things, and a lot of hard times, a lot of hard times. But you know, this was the kind of revealing factor was through the pandemic. I got down to 360 pounds. I got down to 360 pounds. I started seeing a specialist because I had issues with my liver. And he gave me some pointers, a little bit of education, and a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of understanding. And I was able to oh, thanks, John. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So, John's been following me for a while, and he's an awesome guy. He does some really cool stuff too. So yeah, I did that. Not well. I'll be honest with you. I got down to 360, and I didn't fix anything. I was just kind of stumbling through that process. Now, that doctor put me on a pill, and he was a spectacular doctor. Spectacular doctor, has been a great sport. I'm actually following up with him next week, and he put me on pills. And as soon as I had those pills, I started gaining weight again, and I got up to 400 pounds. And I was mad at myself. I was just falling back into my old ways. And it was that situation where I couldn't put two and two together, you know? And I was sad. I was really sad. It hurt. But that brought me into a situation where I was acting selfishly. I was acting without direction. And I was pretending to be me. So last October, people who do follow me, I was building Lego online. I was really enjoying myself, and I still have Lego that I need to be building. So know that that is coming back eventually. But I was I got into an accident. I got rear-ended. It was not my fault, and I was lucky. I walked away. The car did everything it was supposed to do, and that resulted in some injuries, nothing insane, but I was able to get therapy, and they covered chiropractic therapy and massage. I still have some of that because I still have ongoing issues, but I realized in that moment how alone I felt. And my wife loves me, my family loves me, and yeah, Roman, it's 150 pounds. Uh, it's I gave birth to an adult. It was an adult, a female adult. Yeah. So I was in a situation where I felt alone. I felt alone, and I only had myself to blame. And that's not a criticism of anyone or anything, or nothing like that. It's more so that I had failed myself. You know how we all want help. There's no who doesn't want to be helped. That's simple. Um, but the first step was helping myself. And what's up, walkie talkies, Nate? Thank you for coming, buddy. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you for watching. So in October, I was 400 pounds, and that doctor, I was doing that drug study for him. And thank you, thank you. I came from an event, so I just kept it on because hey, why not? I am wearing pants too, so. But thank you, honey. I appreciate you. So it resulted in I kind of started showing up for me because I had failed myself, right? How do you ask for help, or how can you make people want to help you if you're not willing to help yourself? That's how I felt. So I started taking a proactive role in my existence. And it was, and the funny thing is, at the beginning of the pandemic, I stopped doing some drugs, hard drugs. Um, and that was great. Then you're the bomb for the shout out at 291 pounds myself. Absolutely first step is self help. John, like, look, I'm 6 foot two. Okay. I'm 6 foot two, and uh, people can't believe how much I weigh because they're just like, there's no way you weigh that much. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I do. And I do that. I really will emphasize that I can still like just snap you in half because I'm a huge bastard. But that was the one thing that was the trigger. I started reading. Uh, I read a little bit. I started watching a lot more YouTube that was not just entertainment based, but more knowledge based. We all know there's so much dog shit everywhere. Just reams and reams of garbage out there that you got to sift through, right? And then you have to, and the whole point is find a trusted resource, and then also make sure they're saying the same thing. People will say this is the best, this is the worst, this is the best, and they're just flip-flopping. Not helpful. So I'm going to be telling stuff that helped me specifically get to the point where I am at. and this is kind of my story. So I'm doing over the next 30 days. Is every day I'm going to be go live at around 10 p.m. as best I can in and around that area, and kind of give more and more and more of my story and how I got to this point. Because right now, as I said, I've lost 100. I can 100% say that I've lost 146 pounds. There's a very good chance that I've lost closer to 196 pounds. I broke so much furniture and things. I'll be honest with you. I will also throw on old clothes so you guys can see how much the transition is, because I hadn't even. Just to be clear, um, at 400 pounds in October, by the time I went to Mexico in February, I was down to 330 pounds, which was my goal. Was I want to be smaller than I was in high school, and I did it. And I did it with zero help from any magic pill or anything like that. It was just knowledge and willpower. Through the pandemic, I've quit smoking. I started smoking weed, stopped smoking weed, stopped doing other drugs. My drug of choice now is ibuprofen. It sucks. Okay, I'll be honest with you, but that's it. That's what's been happening. So in February, I went on a trip with a friend. It was awesome. I literally stopped carrying an extra. That's actually it. Parmesan, 6'4" myself, guy at 291. Yeah, you and I are in the same boat. So definitely we're going to talk, and I hope you can show, because it's about sharing this knowledge, right? So yeah, and so the whole idea was to get. I got to that point, and the whole time I was too fat. Think about it this way: I was too fat to exercise without being dangerous. Okay. So I came back from Mexico, and my goal in Mexico was to not go over 330. I didn't. I came back at 330. And that was hard, because I'll tell you, the food was awesome. And that was willpower. And then even on the way coming back, I saw my cigarette of choice was always a Davidoff cigarette, a Davidoff Gold specifically. It's like a light cigarette, but it's a very aromatic tobacco. Uh, it's wonderful. But they had an entire assortment in duty free, and I cursed and swore. I was like, "Son of a bitch!" I was so angry because they were so delicious, fancy. I try. So that being said, I came back and I started working out. Now, the advantage that I did had was that with the chiropractor, I've never tried that, but I have heard good things, and I want to kind of try it, because I do miss smoking. I love smoking, and it's if it wasn't a health risk, like every once in a while I still will have a cigarette, because a friend of mine smokes and he's trying to quit, but yeah. So, anyways, the point is this was that um, it wasn't like I was able to ask therapists and everything. I was like, okay, what exercise can I do? Because in March, remember we had that snow. We had snow in Toronto. I threw my back out. And I'm like, hold on. I've lost like a person worth of fat and I'm still throwing back out. What's happening? Right? So the exercises start. And now I'm exercising about 2 hours a day. Let's be clear. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And I am fueled by spite. Spite against myself, and also against the universe, I think. And that's where I'm at right now, where I'm going, I'm doing this in spite of everything and everyone that said I couldn't. Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. So over the next 30 days, I'm going to be telling stories. So please like, share, subscribe, share with your friends. It's going to be every day at 10 p.m. ish, around there. I will be putting up stories and everything. And you had an awesome O face with your playing. Thanks, Walkie Talkies are neat. I appreciate that. Also, I am on Instagram as Dino the Genetic Marvel. So I'm trying to post on YouTube a short every day. I'm going to be doing this every day. And then also on Instagram, I do updates after my workout for everything. So I'm going to leave it there for today. This episode is going to be titled "I'm Fueled by Spite," and me showing up for me. So thank you everyone for watching. As I said, yeah, well, hey, look at that. I quit smoking back in 2015. He'll eventually load the smell of cigarettes. I still love it every day. It's so good. But thank you very much, you guys, for showing up. I appreciate you. I'm gonna be back tomorrow, and we're gonna do this. So please share it around to your friends, and hopefully we have a stellar month. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll talk soon.